It's hard today to escape the language and the implications of the social contract. A steady stream of newspaper articles argues that we need a new social contract in the wake of COVID-19, while the Black Lives Matter protests in the US and beyond paint a vivid and a powerful picture of a broken social contract.
But the person who fixes the situation is killing us. So the social contract is broken.
The social contract, as it's commonly understood today, is a modern idea, classically formulated by John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and of course Thomas Hobbes of this parish. But it draws heavily on a number of biblical themes, notably covenant and law. And today I'd like to consider two ways in which the Exodus from Egypt and the Sinai covenant can cast a fresh and a constructive light on our current cultural moment. The first is this. Before God makes his covenant with his people on Mount Sinai, before the giving of the law, and long before Joshua instructs the nation, "Choose this day whom you will serve," before all of these events, God rescues his people from slavery in Egypt. In fact, Exodus 20, that archetypal passage detailing God's covenant with his people in the Ten Commandments, begins not with a command, but with a proclamation of liberation. And God spoke all these words, saying, "I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery." God's rescue from slavery precedes his covenant renewal. His call precedes his contract with his people. And therefore, obeying God's contract, keeping his law, is not a condition of being saved. This is in notable contrast to classical and modern social contract theories, where freedom is a consequence of the contract, not its precondition. And it reminds us of the truth that slaves are not free to covenant, nor are those in our society who are enslaved by debt or by racism able freely to participate in a renewal of our social contract. If we're serious about rewriting the social contract in the wake of COVID-19, then surely we have to admit and address the slaveries in our society. Only free people can be meaningful stakeholders in a renewed social settlement. The second feature of the Exodus narrative that can inform the rewriting of the social contract today is this. There is no absolute freedom. We always serve somebody or something. Moses' cry, "Let my people go," has ignited freedom struggles down the centuries, never more potently than on the lips of Martin Luther King. This imperative, "Let my people go," is used 7 times in the Bible, and every single time it's followed by the same idea. Let my people go, that they may serve me. Now, how ridiculous our contemporary culture cries at this point. Having just been liberated, why would you go and immediately enslave yourself again and serve God? And yet, at the same time that we dismiss this voluntary service of God, we are busy enslaving ourselves to the fickle masters of ambition, or reputation, or fame, or power, or even to the ideology of our own freedom. Bob Dylan captures this sentiment in a track from his 1979 album Slow Train Coming.
On his stage, running drugs in your pocket, women in a cage. You may be some businessman or some high-degree thief. They may call you doctor, they may call you chief, but you'll have to serve somebody. Yes, indeed, serve somebody.
So then, the question ringing out from the pages of Exodus to us and to our society today is not whether we will serve something, but what and whom we'll serve. And its injunction to us is to choose wisely. Choose to serve one who loves you, who rescues you, one who's committed to you in covenant. And as our society fights and struggles to renew its social contract in our day, Christians can prayerfully and humbly model how a covenant community of liberated people from every tribe and tongue and nation can live together under the loving rule of a rescuing God. And Christians can and should work for the liberation and the reconciliation that our divided society desperately needs if it is to rewrite its own social contract in the wake of the Black Lives Matter movement and the COVID-19 epidemic.